So today is the second lecture of basics of linear algebra. Today we will start with some recapitulation of your earlier knowledges. Fine. So as we know, a matrix is a rectangular array of numbers. For example, this one is a matrix. Here, these ones are called the rows, like 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a row. I 1 over root 2 pi 0. This is a row. E minus 10, 10 to the power 10 sine alpha. This is a row. And these are columns. 1 I E 2 1 by root 2 minus 10. These are columns. So we have this matrix is written in this way. This is the name of the matrix A, and this is the dimensions of the matrix. Now, what do we mean by dimension? We write the number of rows here. There are first row, second row, third row. This is the number of rows we put here times number of columns. So there is this first column, this is second column, this is third column, this is fourth column. So this is the number of columns over here. Okay, so notation in general, A m cross n denotes a matrix A with m many rows. The first one is number of rows and the second one is number of columns. Element wise, if a small aij denotes the entry at the intersection of the ith row and the jth column, ith row and the jth column of the matrix A, then we often write, this is a notation by the way, understand this thing. So aij, you know what is A11, A12, let's say A31, you know all these things. Now, this one is a notation also we used to write. That small aij, these are the elements, the ith row and the jth column. And I is running from 1 to m. I is the row index and j is the column index. So aij denotes the entry at the intersection of the ith row and the jth column. So the first one over here is ith row, is the row index, indexing the row, and the second one is indexing the column. So therefore A31, let's say, will be third row. So 1, 2, 3, and the first column. So this is your A31. Okay. So this is another notation. This is element-wise notation, and this is a whole matrix notation. A m cross n. This remark is very important. Forget those days when you can say something about a matrix by trying it for a maximum 3 cross 3 matrix. Matrix is an n by n matrix. If it is mentioned, it will be if it is mentioned as a square matrix, then it will be n cross n matrix. Otherwise, in general, it is an m cross n matrix. We are talking about generalization here. We are talking about algebra here. Okay, so forget those days when you can say something about a matrix by trying it for this one. Whenever, now onwards, whenever you need to prove something for a matrix, you need to assume that a general dimension for that, m cross n. No particular 3 cross 3 or 2 by 2, 2 by 3, no, so not something like that. Next, a matrix with single row is called a row matrix or a row vector. For example, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, by the way, one more thing, that we use this braces around the matrices. We also use square brackets to denote them as well. Okay, coming to here, a matrix with a single column is called a column matrix or a column vector. For example, written in this way. Understand this thing. When we say a vector, we will get to know those things in the next chapter of vector spaces. Whenever we say a vector, we always mean a column vector, but we write them as row vectors. We mean column vector, but we write as row vectors. Can you guess the reason why? There is extremely silly yet practical reason. It will take more space and it is not very typographically convenient. Only that is the reason we go for this notation. But we always mean a column vector. A matrix with same number of rows and columns is called a square matrix. For example, this one. This has 4 rows and 4 columns. Fine. The entries along the diagonal of a square matrix are called the diagonal entries. Entries along the diagonal of a square matrix. This is the diagonal of a square matrix are called the diagonal entries. Precisely, the diagonal entries of a square matrix Aij, this one, are Aii. The row index and the column index are both same. Okay, so this is the diagonal entries. These are the diagonal entries. By the way, we are interested only in this diagonal. In this diagonal, geometrically speaking, this has got another diagonal. This one is also there, but we do not care for this one. This one does not have any importance in the literature, in the mathematics. The entire importance, diagonal elements are extremely important, and those importance are carried by this diagonal. This is called principal diagonal, and there is no name, separate name for this diagonal even. Diagonal entries of a square matrix Aij, this one, the elements are Aij are AI, I. So you see, this is the first one. This is first row and first column. So this is A11. Next one is at second row and at second column. Second row, second column. So this is at 2, 2. Next one is at third row, third column. So this is A33. Fourth row, fourth column, A44. So you see the diagonal elements, they have same row index and same column index. N by N matrix. So there are n many diagonal entries. Now, two matrices are compatible for addition if their dimensions are same. That is, number of rows are same, number of columns are also same. In that case, they are added element wise. Okay, mathematically, if C m cross n is sum of two m cross n matrices A and B, then the ijth element of the matrix C will be the sum of ijth element of A and B. Understand this thing carefully. Now, you must have been familiar with this one, that this matrix 1, 2, 3, cos square alpha, sec square alpha, I, plus 4, 5, 6, sin square alpha, minus tan square alpha, I. If we add them, then we will add entry wise, element wise. So 1 plus 4, that is 5, 2 plus 5, that is 7, 3 plus 6, that is 9, cos square alpha plus sin square alpha, that is 1, sec square alpha minus tan square alpha, that is 1, I plus I, that is 2I. So you understand this thing. How is this one happening? You understand this thing from your school knowledge only. Probably something which is new to you is this representation. This representation you might have not noticed in your school, that this is how things are defined. So Cij is the ijth element of the matrix C. So this is your C matrix, this is your A matrix, this is your B matrix. So Ij, let's say this one is second row and first column. So 2, 1 entry. So 2, 1 entry of C must be the sum of 2, 1 entry of A and 2, 1 entry of B. This is the algebraic representation. These are going to matter from now on. This is how you prove something. So see what I have written. Mathematically, if C m cross n is equals to is the sum of two m cross n matrices A and B, then Cij is equal to Aij plus Bij, where I is running from 1 to n, J is running from 1 to n. I is the row index, it is running from 1 to n. J is the column index, it is running from 1 to n. Using usual notation. Why did I write this usual notation? Because of this one. That's A is equals to Aij. I did not mention this one in this point. A equal to Aij, this element-wise notation. That is why I have written using usual notation. Fine. So this is the definition of addition. This is an example of addition. Multiplying a matrix by a scalar is defined by multiplying every entry of the matrix by the same scalar. Mathematically, multiplying the matrix A with a scalar C is defined as CA. This matrix is C times you multiply every entry over there. So this is the matrix. Cij element-wise notation. This is the matrix C dot Aij m by n, of course. So you are multiplying every entry of the matrix by the same scalar. Okay, this is multiplying a matrix with a scalar. This one, these 2 points lead to subtraction of two matrices. Subtraction of two matrices. Now, let me tell you something. Subtraction is not an original operation. This is always a combined operation of multiplication and addition. You multiply the second matrix by the scalar -1 and then add to the first one. So if we have to define the rules for subtraction, we will do that by combining the rules of the scalar multiplication and addition. We do not have to invent rules for subtraction separately. So subtraction over here, if you subtract this matrix from this matrix, this will be 1 minus 4, that is minus 3, 2 minus 5, that is minus 3, 3 minus 6, that is minus 3, cos square alpha minus sin square alpha, that is cos 2 alpha, sec square alpha plus tan square alpha, that is no more simplification, and I minus I, that is 0. So this will be true because of combination of these two things, that multiplying the second matrix by the scalar minus 1 and then add to the first one. If you convert rows and columns of a matrix to columns and rows respectively, the resultant matrix is called the transpose of the first matrix. Mathematically, this is the definition. Mathematically, now this one is the description. The first line is the description and this is the definition. Mathematically, if Aij is a matrix n by n, then transpose of A, this one, is Aji. So that is your things are how it is changing. So at the ijth element of the transpose matrix, there will be jith element of the original matrix. It is usually denoted by A superscript T, A to the power T, but this is A transpose. We read it A transpose. For example, this one transpose is this one. So rows have become columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the columns have become rows. This one, do not look at this part. I forgot to put a break over here. Now look at this one. Look at this matrix: A11, A12, A13, A21, 22, 23. The transpose of this one is A11, A12, A13. This will be the column. A21, A22, A23. This will be the other column. Now over here, understand this thing. Why did I include this example? Is to check with this formula, with this definition. Now what is the, say, suppose what is this entry in the transpose element, in the transpose matrix? 2, 1 entry. First we write the row index first, then we write the column index. So this is the 2, 1 entry in the transpose matrix. Now you see that the 2, 1 entry is the 1, 2 entry of the actual one. So the row index and the column index, they have got interchanged. This is the 2, 1 entry in the transpose matrix, which is the 1, 2 entry of the original one. This one is the 3, 2 entry of the transpose matrix, because this is the third row and the second column. So this is the 3, 2 entry of the transpose matrix, and this is the this is equal to the 2, 3 entry of the original matrix. This AJI, this is actually giving you the ijth entry of the transpose matrix, and that is same as jith entry of the original matrix. All right, now coming to the next point. If you transpose the given matrix and then take conjugate of each complex entry, okay, each complex number entry, you need not to, you can take conjugate of every entry as well, even if it is real, no problem. Then the resultant matrix is called the conjugate transpose of the original matrix. When we particularly work with complex matrices with complex numbers, then the transpose does not always give us the desired result. Okay, all these things, this transpose, this conjugate transpose, everything is invented for their particular purpose. We will see the particular purpose in the due course. So when we work with complex matrices, this transpose do not always give us the desired result. To get the desired result, we want to get the conjugates of the entries as well. So what we do, conjugate mathematically, if Aij is the matrix, then conjugate transpose is, you take the transpose and then the conjugate. It is usually denoted by A star. Okay, so A bar is for conjugate and then transpose, or it can be other way as well. You transpose and then take bar, anything, both are same. It is denoted by A star. So this matrix star will be the first row, will become the first column. 1 plus I will be 1 minus I. 2 minus 3i will be 2 plus 3i. 3, then 4, then 5 minus I will become 5 plus I. Minus I minus 2. The conjugate of this one is by changing the sign of the complex part. Okay, minus I minus 2, that's changing the sign of the complex part, so that is plus I minus 2. Now realize one thing, that the real entries, this is real entries means real number entries 3 and 4 of the original matrix remain same in the conjugate transpose. So therefore the real entries do not change if you take the conjugate of them, remain same in the conjugate transpose. Hence, if A is a real matrix, then A star becomes A transpose only, because there is no effect of the conjugation operation. You only end up with the transpose and nothing else.